New in 3ds Max 2012 Subscription Advantage Pack is the ability for the ActiveShade interactive rendering window to support the iray rendering engine. Let's take a look at that. Let's go ahead and open the Render Setup dialog box. Let's choose ActiveShade from the Assign Renderer rollout. So let's go ahead and change the ActiveShade render to the iray renderer, and we'll say OK and activate ActiveShade, and then once we initialize the ActiveShade viewport, iray will render the view of our camera. So there is our iray renderer, and now the principle behind ActiveShade is that this is now a live connection to the view. So if I change anything in the view, it's automatically updated in the image. And we can do this with the iray render because it's a GPU-based rendering engine that's really fast and highly accurate. It's a photometrically accurate renderer, so we can take advantage of great-looking materials and lights in a very, very fast feedback loop. So, for example, if I have this cup selected and I reposition the cup at any time, the image is automatically updated to reflect the change. Since I'm looking through a camera, if I change the camera position at any time, the image is quickly updated to reflect the changes in the change of position in the camera. If I go over to the rendering dialog box and I opened up either advanced parameters or hardware resources, you can see we have some settings that we can adjust for the iray renderer. I've set my rendering iterations to unlimited. So as I continue to work, as long as nothing changes in the scene that affects the rendering engine, this will continue to refine and improve. But you can see just after a couple seconds, we really get enough information to tell us if we're on the right track in terms of our materials and lighting and object position. And that really kind of goes to what ActiveShade supports. You can change geometry, position, or translation, camera position, lighting changes, and material changes. We'll take a look at the material changes in a second. Down here, you'll notice that you can actually choose the GPU resources that are being thrown at this ActiveShade window. Currently, I have a Tesla in here. I also have a Quadro 6000 that's currently being used by Windows. If I check that on, it'll be added to the computational queue for this window. I also am using 3 of my 6 cores on my processor to update the window. So I'm getting some very, very fast processing that's giving me, that's continually refining itself and giving me this great looking image. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the material updates. I'm going to go ahead and close my rendering dialog box, and I'm just going to scroll over to this vase over here, and I have a couple of books in the background as well. And I'm currently using standard materials in those, but I want to take advantage of iray renderer and use the Arch Design material. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my Slate material editor, and I have a couple of things that I'm working on. I'll go over to the vase first. I already have the vase set up with a standard material. You recall, here's what the camera is looking at. Here's what the ActiveShade window is looking at. I actually, all I need to do is just make sure my object is selected so that when I assign the material, it goes to the right spot. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to right-click on my material, or right-click in my view here. I'm going to choose a mental ray material, an Arch Design material. And then I'm just going to pipe some things from the original material into this. I don't actually have to destroy the old material at all if I want to switch back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the noise, which is going into the bump map, and put it right in there. I'm just going to double click this material and copy the diffuse color to the clipboard, and then I'm going to double click the Arch Design material and paste the color right there. And I'll choose one of the preset finishes. I'm just going to choose a highly glossy finish, and once I do that, all I have to do is assign the material to the selection, and it's assigned, and the ActiveShade rendering window immediately updates with the new material in there. So I'll go ahead and do the same thing with the handle. I'll just select that, right-click and say Assign Material to Selection, and it automatically gets updated. Likewise, with the books that are in the background, I just want to take advantage of the Arch Design material for that. So I'll go ahead and select the back spine of the book, which is the only thing that we're going to change here. And I have the book spine texture here, the original one. So I'm just going to repipe some things over. So I'll grab our diffuse image, and I'll also grab our bitmap, which is being used in our glossiness map and also in our bump map. And we'll put it right there, and it automatically updates. And you can see the interactive rendering window continues to refine itself as we add the textures and reposition itself. So it's a very fast and easy way to work Having the iray renderer up live while I'm working really kind of closes feedback loops, makes things a lot easier to see faster. I can gauge how my materials are looking. I can gauge the staging of my objects with relative position to my cameras and lights. It's really a fast and effective way to work when you're using photoreal elements.